The NXL Major League Paintball Lone Star Open is just around the corner. This week on Old Guy Paintball, we're going to talk about the brackets and do some prognosticating on where we think things will play out. Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Craig and I am the host. We are starting the second season of Old Guy Paintball and it's a beautiful summer day, so I get to sit outside here. A little bit breezy, so you'll hear the wind blowing, but it's great to be outside. The Lone Star State Open is going to be the last regular season paintball event before the World Cup in November, which will be a double points event. It's a huge event in that it's going to help set up teams for possibly the future and may start setting some teams on the decision of what's going to happen going into 2026. They just dropped a layout for the playing field today. And it looks like a very interesting field. It looks to be challenging, a little bit different than what the last one was. And it'll be interesting to see how it breaks down and plays in this event. The tournament format will be very similar to what was happening in the Midwest Open. We'll have a 3-man on Thursday, and then the standard tournament format will take place on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I have not seen a lot about the brackets, but I did find out how they're set up as of right now. And we're going to go over them here as we talk. First of all, bracket A is Paintball Fit, San Antonio X Factor, New Orleans Hurricanes, AC Diesel, and NRG Elite. Not overly tough. I don't see Paintball Fit and San Antonio X Factor having any problems making it out of this bracket. They should do pretty well. The interesting thing with this bracket is you have 3 Texas teams and Fit, Factor, and Diesel. So there could be a little bit of grudge matching going on, you know. X Factor says they're the best kids in Texas, and Paintball Fit is starting to challenge them this past 2 years. And Diesel's got their issues, but you know what? There's a Texas pride on the line here, so you might see some interesting matches with these 3 teams. I don't see much coming out of Diesel or Elite, and the Hurricanes, you know, I think they may go 2-2, possibly could contend for a wild card on Sunday, but you know, that may be about it. Bracket B. Red Legion, Houston Heat, LA Ironman, Seattle Uprising, and ASG Aftermath. I don't see any problem with Legion coming out of here. I would be shocked if they didn't go 4-0 or at least 3-1. I think the only team that could possibly give them any kind of a challenge would be Houston Heat, the other Texas team, and LA Ironman. But I don't see much out of that. I think Heat and Ironman are both good contenders, are going 2-2 or 3-1 and making the Sunday club. And of course, not much for Aftermath. Bracket C is San Diego Dynasty, Tampa Bay Damage, Baltimore Arsenal, LA Infamous, and New Jersey Leverage. Again, not a bad bracket, pretty easy. I don't see any problems with Dynasty and Damage not coming out of this 4-0 or 3-1. Arsenal could be a sleeper team. You never know. Sometimes they play really well, and sometimes they haven't done so well. But I think there's a possibility that they could go 3-1. They could go easily 2-2 and contend for a wild card on Sunday. Don't expect much out of Infamous. They've been struggling all year, and you know, Leverage is just playing pretty poorly as the team that got moved up from last year. So not a lot of high hopes for them. Bracket D, Edmonton Impact, the Tauntauns, Chicago Aftershock, Royal City Sea Dogs, and New York Extreme. I don't see any problem with Edmonton Impact or Tauntauns coming out of this bracket. Again, 3-1, 4-0. I could see it very easy for either one of those teams. I don't see much out of Aftershock or Sea Dogs, really. Neither one has been playing well. Again, Royal City Sea Dogs was a team that got moved up from semi-pro in their first year in pro. Doing a little bit better than Leverage, but still not a great season for them. And New York Extreme is, again, they're just bad. Sorry to say, they're just not playing very well. This is a good chance for Chicago Aftershock or the Sea Dogs to maybe make a little bit of a run and move up the ladder by getting a couple wins. So that could be some interesting lower level battles, but I do not see either one of them making the Sunday crowd. If they did, I think that would be a real shocker more than anything else. But this is a battle this weekend, and that tournament will be for the have and the have-nots. The haves are, of course, the top 5 teams. Paintball Fit, Legion, Dynasty, Impact, and the Tauntauns. They're all vying in the top 5 for points and for the season championship overall. Paintball Fit is still leading. Russian Legion, Red Legion, as you would like to call them, is close on their heels. But, you know, again, this tournament is one of those situations where a really good tournament can help you, and a misstep could cause some problems. Right now, you know, again, if Paintball Fit was, you know, as long as they make the semifinals along with Legion, they're probably still good in the running. But you never know. If they have a misstep and they get knocked out in the quarterfinals, a team like Dynasty, Impact, or Tauntauns can make a quick jump over them and put themselves in position going in the World Cup here in November, which will be a double points event, and that has a huge impact, and we'll talk about that in a future episode. In the have-nots, well, you're fighting for relegation right now, and you know, Leverage and Extreme are just, honestly, they're just bad this year. They both teams have struggled immensely, and they're fighting for their lives right now. Aftermath and NRG Elite aren't doing much better. So, you know, you're playing for points. You're playing for, you know, if you could win a match, could be huge going into November, whether or not you're facing relegation or not. But I don't see either team of these teams doing much. You might get lucky, but, you know, you're fighting for your, you know, survival in the pro division right now. So, that's going to be some interesting things to watch is, you know, are teams, do they get a point where they say, okay, they're giving up and realizing it's just not happening this year, or they're going to fight and try to stay in the pro division? The Texas event this year has been moved to the back end of the schedule. Traditionally, it's been held one of the first events or second events, and traditionally, the weather has been bad. It's been rainy. It's been very muddy. We had basically a rain out a year ago that caused the cancellation of the pro division series for that, and had to put it onto the Mid-Atlantic Open right before that. So they tried moving it back, and hopefully the weather will be better. As of right now, the long-term forecast for a week out, it's not too bad looking. It's going to be upper 80s, sunny to partly cloudy, good summer weather, probably a little bit of humidity. Of course, anything can change if there be some tropical development. But right now, it looks like the weather's going to be pretty decent for this tournament. So hopefully that goes off. It'd be nice to see the Texas event play in good weather for once. And it'll probably be favoring teams that have a little bit more playing time down south in the summer. But everybody's been playing in the summer, so I don't think anybody's going to have a huge advantage with the weather this year. So it'd be good to see this event go off with good weather, like I said. Other than that, like I said, I'm looking forward to a really good tournament. The layout is kind of interesting. I just took a quick look at it. I didn't get a chance to study it too well, but it has a traditional snake and a little bit of a Y to it, and of course a Dorito side and several bunkers. So the teams playing in the 3-man on Thursday are going to get a good trial run of the field and help them get some layout of how things might break. So it's a good practice run for a lot of teams. As far as I know of, almost every team is doing that. I'm not sure exactly. This is going to be something they're going to go forward with even into World Cup, continuing the 3-man preview day, as I call it. I will be covering the 3-man format here in an upcoming video. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming content. Just so I can remind you about that. But I'll be addressing that and whether I think 3-man is part of the future of the NXL. But right now, it's still going to look like it's going to be running the standard 5-man format going forward for the rest of this year. But overall, I'm like a lot of you. I'm excited about the paintball tournament coming up. And put in your comments down below, who do you think is going to win? And who is your sleeper team? Who's the team that think he's going to sneak up and maybe make the Sunday club and maybe get a little bit of run, or somebody you think would be who might just, you know, you wouldn't expect to be there. So I'm going to post mine up, and you know, you can check them out and leave your ideas who you think is going to win it. So with that, I hope everybody gets a chance to watch this event. I hope you're all as excited about it as I am. I look forward to seeing you in future episodes and look forward to seeing all of you on the paintball field soon.